All right, week 6 of college football. We got a new guy I'd love for you guys to meet, somebody that I've known for a while. And I was doing some reconnaissance last night on you, or the last couple of days, Fran, and texted Kirby and tried to find some information, tried to get a story. And the best I got was a recruiting week that turned into a Philly celebration and a picture that came with it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Early celebration and the picture that came with it. Nah,
You
you
had
got you got to give
you
me.
you had the Phillies gear on. You were ready to rock and roll. You went up to Philadelphia and watched the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah. We played. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. I
You
remember
said you
that. I
said
remember
we
that.
played too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely 100% Eagles fan. And then I was really excited because I'm at Georgia, and as I'm there, they just keep taking all the Georgia players at Philly. Me being from right there was hype all the time. Kirby and him used to mess with me, he used to talk trash to me. But then he started going for the Eagles because so many of his players were there. So they had no choice but to start going for him.
Things change quick, huh? Where did you grow up, Fran?
Camden, New Jersey.
All
Camden,
right.
New Jersey. So David, so listen, 2008, '08, '09. So I get a shot to be with the Bengals on the practice squad, right? Coming there, you probably don't remember that. So he's there and just talking, and I was like coming through and work out. He was like, "Hey, just keep working hard, keep your head up, everything will work itself out." And it's just like, all right, cool. And you probably don't even remember that, but like saying and going through it, just being up there and just telling me that was just something I always remember. So then, remember when we were hooping at the thing that day, and I reminded you, and you was like, "Oh snap, I do remember that." Just getting the opportunity of doing that was different.
Yeah, those
That was actually the first time I got a chance to beat you. You know what I mean? To see it. It's like, dang. So it's good. I didn't realize you was gonna be that tall as a linebacker. Me playing Division One AA, most of the linebackers and everybody you seen was all 5'10", 5'11", and then saying he was like, oh, damn, no wonder. He was huge.
Yeah, I remember when I got to Georgia too. I was like, man, I'm pretty big in high school. I was 6'3", I was 275. I got there, I'm like, where'd you come from? Like,
Bro, just the way you play football though is I wish that half our team could play that way, and we'll be a really good football team. Just the way you played and your attention to detail and everything that it is you do, even from watching you on television to just seeing you. And then the best piece of me, everyone didn't get to see, was seeing you what your son, because our sons are about the same age, and get you opportunity of watching them and being able to see them and see how serious it is. I mean, I know you do a good job in this world professionally, but a lot of people, I want to make sure that I give you flowers while being able to talk to you. I seen you be an even better father, and that means a lot to me because I'm a father. And I got sons and all. Just watching you with your son and seeing how he takes stuff. You're doing a good job at that, bro. Like keep that up because that's who's gonna be there for us at the end.
no doubt. Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. Now, we all saw you guys versus Georgia Tech, and we saw the thing I loved about it most was the post game, and I just loved your intensity. You were not disrespectful in the slightest, but intense, and you could tell football matters and your competitiveness. And talk about like who you are and how you cultivated that. I think you talked a little bit about that as a player, but like what motivates you? What drives Fran Brown?
Well, just always beating the odds. Honestly, my mom had me at 13, David. So like my mother had me 13 years old. She stopped school 7th grade. My father, I know who he is, but was never like around in there. So it was like football coaches and uncles, different people that just motivated you to keep going. And like you want more in life, you know what I mean? And like it becomes a purpose and like what you're doing. And then I got a wife, I got children, and just for my sons to see that, like I'm never going to allow my circumstances to dictate my outcome. And just like work, 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 work. And I like being counted out. I'm gonna have a chip on my shoulder the rest of my life. I will be a blue collar guy for the rest of my life. That's just kind of who I am. So when you come at like certain things, like about toughness or about being able to work hard, being able to overcome things, I think that I'm a great example of that for a bunch of young dudes all over. Which I'm from the inner city, Camden, New Jersey. I could have easily went the other way and done other things, but I did it. It was actually more difficult and it was harder to try and stay focused than more so going into the street because it'd have been real easy to go the street way. Everyone was able to do that, and just being able to stay focused and work. And football saved me. Like football helped me. Football's got me closer to God. Football's got me to be able to follow like great men in this world that I see doing good things. Football has moved me all over. I lived in Texas. I lived in Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky. I lived in uh, Georgia. Like I lived everywhere that you could possibly go, all because of the game of football. So I'm just gonna give football everything that I have to be able to share with these other young dudes to let them know, like, you play this game, you do it the right way, and it helps. It works. It's an outlet to success, and not just the financial piece. That's what everybody like gets into it and thinks about, but it's also to resources and the people and how to be a father, how to be a husband. I learned a lot from coaches, watching Kirby Smart, Matt Rule, Greg Schiano, just seeing all those dudes, who they were as husbands also was another thing that stood out to me as, okay, I'm a young dude coming up and coaching. Okay, I want to do this that way. And, you see things they do that you like, and you just try to take everything in.
Do you have any good? Do you have any good Kirby stories or Matt Rule stories? And listen, they got to be PG. They got to be PG.
Kirby stories every day was hilarious. Like when Coach Smart is done coaching football, he should do stand up. This dude is hilarious at practice. I mean, it was just always, and then it's the way he like whines when he's talking about stuff to you. He will always be like, "Fran, what are they doing? You guys are soft. I thought you were from Camden, New Jersey." He would just always be whining about it, saying stuff, but he was always right. But you would just hear your name on the mic, and you like, dang. I will always go tell Neil and them, yo, I'll give you $1,000 if you cut that mic off today, bro. I'll give you $1,000.
So you don't use the mic?
Oh, yes, I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, so I got two kids here from three kids that ended up coming over that Coach Smart said it would be good if I took them over here to Syracuse with me. And all they call me, they be like, yo, you like a young Kirby, coach. You just running around with the mic, different stuff that we do. We're just trying to really mimic that program and do the same things, because being there and being in a national championship and doing all those things, I mean, it was just truly a blessing. Two and a half of the best years of my life of college of football was really to spent there in Georgia, just not just winning, but just the community, the culture, just what I mean. You played in it, so you know what it's like, and it's forever be Bulldogs in my mindset.
What did you learn in the chair that you only could have learned in the chair? Because everybody prepares for the moment, but what did you learn when you had to be the guy, and now you're holding the microphone? I guess you're the guy with the microphone. What have you learned so far?
I learned honestly that the culture matters. All that other stuff that you're trying to get through, the culture matters. Like Dart is everything. All these kids, detailed, accountable, relentless, and tough, and you have to continue to push that over and over and over. Like it's not an option when it comes to your culture. And then I also learned that you have to coach the coaches harder than you have to coach the players, because that's who they'll be on. And I understand why Kirby was on me so hard, because he knew those players liked me and he knew they would play for me. And so if he's getting on me, then it's going to make them want to play for me. But every issue, I'm talking about all 130 something players, coaches, every issue comes to your desk. And you have to be prepared for that. And they don't get too big because I pray for it. And I always look at it, I pray for this moment. So I'm thankful for the moment. I know that God is not going to put me in a moment that I can't handle because I pray for it. So I'm just thankful for the opportunity I have to do it.
Yeah, I think it's cool. We all have different experiences with different type of football. What was your first experience with Syracuse football?
My first experience here.
No. What about when you were a kid? Didn't you go see?
Oh, oh yeah, I went to see Donovan Darius and Donovan McNabb and all those dudes play. My first experience with Syracuse football was at the Meadowlands when they played Wisconsin when Ron Dane was playing, and they actually beat the brakes off of Wisconsin. And that was my first experience of it. I remember getting wristbands from the guys. So we wore my high school colors was purple and gold, and they would give wristbands, gloves, and all. I played quarterback. I got these big giant orange wristbands on. You remember the ones that was like half of your arm?
Yeah.
I wore a huge orange wristband the next game just because I got it from a player that was on the team, and it was funny some of the stuff that you do. But that was my first experience when it came to Syracuse football. Was that?
Yeah. All right. Now spinning to your team, coach, and this year, like, Kyle McCord. I remember watching him at Ohio State, and I was like, he's. I know he's talented. I know he's highly recruited, but didn't have the freshman year that he probably, or the first start year he dreamed of. I watched him at Syracuse, and I turned on the tape, coach, and I watched this dude. I'm like, my gosh. I mean, making every throw. Like, I've seen him scramble when he needed to scramble. Didn't see much of that last year either. I mean, and I think it was quote of the year material already when you said, I might send a bottle of champagne to Ryan Day for letting that guy get out of Columbus. What has he meant to the program and setting the culture and just being that guy for you? Because you got to have guys buy in and believe.
He's a culture setter, like, and it's good to be able to do it with the quarterback. You know how it goes. Like, if your quarterback's following everything you say, because the player's going to listen to you so much. After a while, they'll tone you out. But the seniors and the leader and the leadership group, they just push the message, and he's one that just pushes the message. He works extremely hard. He does everything well, and everyone took it too when I said that, like as if it was a shot at Ryan Day. It was like, no, that's not a shot. I was saying, like, okay, Ohio State's that good. Thank you. Like, that we get to do this because he didn't stay there. He ended up coming here. They're still doing a great job, but it was just the fact that thanks for doing it. I mean, he was not the first guy to leave Ohio State that ends up going somewhere being a good player. I just wanted to make sure it's known that Ryan Day does a good job developing quarterbacks, and he got us a guy that, I mean, thank you. You know, to get somebody, you know how it is in college football. If you got a Q, you got a chance. You don't got a quarterback, it makes it hard. So I'm just thankful for this kid. He works hard. He's in here every night like the coaches. He's in here literally till the earliest he leaves is 9:30. So he's in here 9:30, 10 o'clock every night watching film, breaking down practice, calling guys up when they didn't do well on certain stuff. He's looking at the twos and he was upset, like, hey, I don't like the way they practice.
Wow.
And it's funny because when we lost to Stanford, which was like, man, he was getting on certain guys about certain things, and he said the twos didn't practice hard. This isn't right, like something that's not going on. And we lost the game.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, I mean, it's like almost having an extra coach.
Yeah, and then people don't get that. I love that comment because it's true. Like, the coaches can lead all they want, but you can only lead so much. You ain't in the locker room all the time. You got to find somebody to step up. Who are those other guys at Syracuse, man, that are dudes, that are guys that have done everything you asked, that are stepping up? Like, I watch Gatson at tight end, and I'm like, that guy is a grown man. I mean, there's other guys too, but who are those guys for you?
I would say Gatson at tight end. I would say Jackson Meeks, a Bulldog that came over here with us. Trevor Pena, LaQuint Allen, without a doubt. Our running back is like the heart of the football team. And then on the defensive side, Fidel Diggs, freaking Marlo Wax, who's down right now, but Justin Barnes, Cinco, Deuce. I mean, it's a lot of guys. Dion the Tank. You know, Tank's a guy that helps us with everything. There's so many of those guys that have just bought in, which is like, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm blessed to have a lot of guys that are buying in and want to do it the right way. And then you still got a lot that's because human nature, guys want to relax. Guys didn't do this last year, didn't do different things. So we still got to coach up everyone, but you got a lot of guys that are bought in that it helps us a lot.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I remember when I was with Coach Rick when he was there, and you had the old regime, and you got so many people that, like, I'm asking you to do things that you're not comfortable doing, that you haven't necessarily done, but this is what it looks like. And then you have that moment like Georgia Tech. We had that moment at Tennessee where it was like, okay, everybody bought in and was like, I get it. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. So having those moments, I think, are huge, and those guys buying in. This week is a big week, man. I watch UNLV. They got a shot, man. They got a real shot to be in the college football playoff. They lose. They already handled some adversity well, too, with their QB, who's lead them in rushing and passing. He's gone one week. They come back the next week. They still look like a really good football team. What about UNLV this week?
I think they're a good team. Coach Odom's done a good job there with it in his second year. Last year they won 9 games, which was first time they've done that in a long time. And they got a good defense. They got a good offensive staff. Their offensive coordinator's doing a good job of just tricking people, you know, and then being able to do stuff. And then we got to be able to stop the run. You know, they're going to want to run the football. So that's the main thing. And then on defense, I mean, special teams, they've done a good job. They've already blocked 2 punts. They've took 1 kickoff return to the house. So, I mean, what better play is it for us to go down to Vegas and get to be the main event Friday night? Get to play against them. It's feeling like Mayweather on our way down there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
baby.
Excited about it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good show.